Hey everybody, HMV here, playing more Kerbal Space Program, and we are launching none other than Jebediah Kerbin into space in a two-man, oddly-looking capsule here. Odd-looking capsule, I should say. That is destined for orbit. What is this capsule for? What is its purpose? I will tell you. It is named the 100K Planner, and its entire job is to sit up in orbit and give us some sort of an idea of when we should be doing our transfers to other planets, because when we should be doing them so much as how we should be doing them, because I don't have the benefit of a Delta V chart, and if there is one out there, don't bother telling me about it, because I don't want it. I want to make my own. And now that we're up this far, I'm going to just burn sideways until we get that orbit, and I will see you up in space when we're there. And as we cross the space barrier, you'll see my apoapsis is slightly high at 100,060 or so. Not a big deal. Another slightly bigger deal is I've only got 300 meters per second left, which also isn't a big deal because my periapsis is already over 10. So it's not going to take that much to bring it all the way up. This is a very touchy process here. 98 by 100. I'm actually going to time warp so I'm right at my apoapsis and then burn again. Because I want my apoapsis, or my orbit I should say, to be quite close actually to circular here. And that's about as close as I can really expect to get it. Now, what I want to do here is get its inclination perfect. Now, what you would do in the normal game is you would target Moon, and then you would say, hey, what's my what's my inclination, and then burn there. Well, you can't do that here, but you can do a trick with Precise Node, one of my favorite mods. What you can do is you can snap to the descending node, and you can snap to the ascending node. And we know, when we're at the ascending node, that we're going to be moving upward in our orbit. Now this, because there's nothing targeted, this is relative to Kerbin itself. So, if we aim anti-normal while we're at the ascending node, and we burn a little bit, we're going to lower that ascending node. Now, Precise Node, as far as I can tell, won't tell me what my ascending node is. I believe that Kerbal Engineer would, but I don't need it, because I'm awesome. I just have to make sure this is my ascending node, and every time I click it, it's going to reset my ascending node to where it is in the orbit. Now, I don't need super accurate SAS pointing at the anti-normal anymore. Let's go ahead and time warp to the ascending node here. I'm using the time to node burn in the upper left there that Kerbal Engineer gives us to get really close to it. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to burn and just click the ascending node button over and over again. And as it changes, when it starts to flip, we know we're really close to it being exactly at the ascending node. Now over here somewhere is our descending node. It's right there. So we're going to want to aim regular normal. I'm just going to do this again to make sure that we've got it nailed exactly, as close to exactly as we can really expect to get it using the tools we have. And then this will put this thing at a really nice, tight 100 by 100, perfectly equatorial orbit. Okay, and then here we're going to keep clicking descending node. And then boom, it's just flipped over. That means we are within a meter per second of perfectly equatorial. Now, we are going to leave this thing here in the VAB. I set this to have a decouple force of 0. So it's not going to, the act of decoupling it isn't going to move it away. Now we're going to have Jeb aim us. Oh, I also turned off electric charge on this so that Jeb would be guaranteed to have electric charge to get home. We're going to aim this guy retrograde. Whoa. And we're going to bump that thing, and we'll just live with it. It's a couple meters per second. Jeez. Can't win. How fast is our target moving relative to us? 1 meter per second. We're 1 extra meter per second off from what we should be. Okay, Jeb. Good job, Jeb. You had one job. This is why you don't get to play with the toys that Bob gets to play with, Jeb. Yeah, so now this thing's in a nice equatorial orbit. Jeb is going to burn himself down here. So his periapsis is around, say, 25 or so. Not 100% sure what is stable on this ship. It looks like it's stable forward, which I'm going to say is bad. So let's aim him retrograde. Let's burn off the last of his fuel. And let's ditch that. There we go. Oh, Sona, I believe it is. We are just burning through the... Yeah, see, that's an interesting problem there. I think we are possibly stable forward. But as long as we don't hold retrograde here, we seem to not be using up too much electric charge. And obviously this is all going to go fine. And I will meet you in space because we're going to start planning some maneuvers. Okay, really quick, I'm going to show you what I'm doing here because, what is this? Aptur is very hard to get to. But here's what I figure. As long as we keep our orbit roughly the same as both Kerbin's and Aptur's, when we encounter Aptur, we're going to be going fairly slow relative to it. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm planning a maneuver node. Notice this maneuver node is a day from now. That means we're ejecting somewhere over here. If you see here, I'm going to plan a maneuver node. This is 8 days from now. That means this is an entire another orbit around. If I plan a maneuver node here, it's 2 days from now. That means we're going to be ejecting from Kerbin here, somewhere around here. So what I've been doing here is adding orbits. I'm going to add 2 really quick. And notice that really changes how we eject from here because we're going to be going this way and then going this way. So then I need to add some time to my burn to move my orbit around Kerbin so that I'm not ejecting perfectly prograde. And notice we're a lot closer now than we were before. If I go to forward 3 more orbits, 1, 2, 3, and then jump forward a lot more here, we're getting a lot closer, see? That's too much. I'm actually going to bring it out about like this. See, I think we need to go forward maybe 3 more orbits. 1, 2, 3. And then bring this down again. Or forward in time again, I should say. Oh, there we go. This is looking good. Now, if I switch this to 0.1 in time and back up, looks like I might have gone 1 orbit too far or not 1 orbit enough. Maybe not 1 orbit enough. Let's see, the bottom one is on the right. So let's go 2 orbits forward and go forward in time again. Yeah, it's getting closer. So let's go 3 more orbits forward. There we go. Now we're getting really close. And boom, we have an encounter. And this is what we should do. We're basically we're setting up a burn in 2 days and a half, 2.5 days, give or take. We're going to be up here. And then we're going to burn here. If we focus view on Kerbin, when we're over here, we're going to burn such that we leave Kerbin basically in front of it, because we're going to be right up here. And then when we do that, it's going to send us around to hit Aptur, if we focus view on it, around here. And I wonder if we can even fiddle with this. Oh, we get the crazy Kerbal Space Program problem here. Let's go ahead and get this back, if the game lets us. There it is. Oh, it's actually getting closer. There we go. That'll actually nail an actual encounter if we can hit it. And it's a 761 meter per second burn. And then, assuming we can hit it, to get this guy into orbit, now granted this would crash him, but to get this guy into orbit is going to take 129 meters per second. That's less than a grand total to get into orbit, and maybe, if you're lucky, about a grand to land. A grand to land. Maybe that'll be a title of the episode. However, this vessel here, as I showed you during the launch, is a capsule. It's empty. Nobody lives in it. It is just sitting out here to plan maneuver nodes for, but also put them in a Kerbal alarm clock. So now I know that this is my transfer window. Not only is it my transfer window, it tells me what my transfer window actually is. Like when it exactly is, and I can go back and refer to it to see what I should be burning once I get a ship up into orbit. Now, what ship am I going to put into orbit? I'll show you. That ship is the Aptur 1. Pretty simple. Got a couple solids that are thrust limited down a little bit. I guess you can't really see it here, but the numbers are less, or at least they will be. It's got a swivel here to keep stability all the way up through flight, and then it's got this little stage here that's going to get us both to Aptur and back. Ideally, but I don't know because I've never done this before. So let's go ahead and turn on the computer. We're not going to crank up the volume all the way. And in 3, 2, 1, Lufert is going to launch. And apparently, we do need fuel. I forgot. I built this ship almost 24 hours ago. Let's go ahead and... What are you doing? Get back in the ship. I hit that instead of crew report. That's pretty funny. Well, at least we got an EVA report flying over wherever we were flying over. Let's go ahead and get this guy to orbit. Lufert saw what Bob had done, and said, you know what? I respect Bob. I grew up watching his the way he handled himself in the space program, because Kerbals grow up in like a week. I want to be like Bob, but I also want to show him up. I want to make sure everyone knows that I can do the crazy garbage that Bob does. So, as the ship was lifting off, he decided to hop out and grab a quick surface sample. Okay. So we're going to get this guy into orbit. That's the boring part. I will see you in space. Or at separation. Oh, lots of explosions. And we're flipping around. Come on. Oh. That was not a good sound. Okay, come on. Flip us around. Hold prograde. There we go. Yikes. That was not good. I'm trying to give myself bigger budgets, but not sure how much that's going to cut into our fuel budget. The whole goal of this mission is to just fly by Aptur. We don't even need to get into orbit, really. That was a secondary goal if I felt I had enough Delta V once we got there. We'll see. What's a launch without at least one flip? It looks like we're actually not going to waste any fuel, because we've got our apoapsis up to 100. Our periapsis is at 32. So this is about when I would be ditching this stage anyway. So I think I'm going to ditch it now. And we're just going to let it do its thing. Hopefully it'll experience more drag because it's not going to be nice and aerodynamic here. Now, of course, this ship has no batteries on it. So I'm actually going to turn SAS off here. All it's got is its 50 electric charge. That's we'll call that a challenge. I believe they call those challenge opportunities. As soon as we get above the atmosphere, we'll burn our apoapsis back out to 100. Something the other stage probably could have done for us quite well. Also, it could have recharged our batteries. Okay, 70 kilometers. We are going to turn on the SAS here to hold ourselves prograde. Just going to burn ourselves. We lost a whole 10 kilometers. That's impressive. At this apoapsis, we are going to burn ourselves up to 100 here. There we go. 100 by 99. That works. Okay. So what we want to do now is we want to target the 100K, or I'm sorry, the 100K planner ship. And now we can see his maneuver node. What we can do here is we can set a maneuver node for ourselves at the same spot. Set it up to go roughly the same distance and amount and everything. So it's right there. So they're basically the same orbit. And it was 761, so let's just make it 761. And then we need to push it forward a ton of orbits to get it out to 2 days, 3 hours, and 18 minutes. One of these two should do it. So now if we focus on Aptur, and then take away our target, but we should be really close. And we're not for some reason, because Aptur's not our target. That helps a lot. Okay, we got to get this really close to here. Yeah, see, there we go. We're close. We're just not exactly there. There we go. Boom. There's an encounter. Focus view on Aptur. It's a pretty nice looking encounter. It's a little bit high, but we can fix that at halfway there. So I think we're going to go for this, because this is going to bring us right over the top for 761 meters per second in 2.5 days. We don't need this 100K planner ship anymore because we're only going here with one ship. All we care about is the Aptur 1, and I will see you when we get there. Okay, Kerbal Engineer tells me it's going to be in 30 seconds or so. I'm going to perfectly trust it. I am got my finger on the Z key in 3, 2, 1, mark. Okay, we have to be very close to perfect on this thing. I'm going to get within about a meter per second here. And then I'm going to switch to map mode and see what is going on here. We don't have an actual encounter yet. So let's try... Oh, I think that did it. No, it didn't. There we go. There's our encounter, and we are going to try to get this 1 extra decimeter per second to get it back to the way it was. Let's go ahead and thrust limit. This is very touchy work. I'm trying to get it back to what the maneuver node says. And it's the opposite. So the reason that sort of thing happens is time goes by. Life goes on. But no, the maneuver node becomes less and less accurate over time. And when you're doing stuff in low Kerbal orbit, over time is a moderately short amount of time. So, okay, we're going to be ejecting from Kerbin, I don't know where. Here, I guess? Yeah, we're going to be ejecting from Kerbin here, and we're going to be entering, I never remember these names, Aptur here. So right here, a day and 2 hours from now, we're going to want to add a maneuver. And we're going to want to burn south. So it shouldn't be that expensive. It's a nice polar orbit, which might make it hard to come home, but that'll give Jeb a chance to that'll give, I remember your name, Lufert, our most brave Kerbal ever, because he is leaving the Kerbin system for the first time. But he is going to have a chance to burn this thing into orbit. If we do this. And it's going to cost him 760 or so to do that. And to get into orbit, it's going to cost him this 7.5 for this and 157 for that. So we're talking 165, give or take. Plus the 760 is 920. Is that correct? 920 total? That is less than $1,000 orbit to orbit. That makes me feel awesome. Okay. Okay, turn off the computer, put yourself into sleep mode until, Science Alert tells us we can do a crew report, materials, mystery, and an EVA report. And of course, during this EVA report, we are going to collect and reset these guys. We've hit a snag. Kerbin grabbed us. It's something I possibly should have expected. But it's also possible that it's going to let us go at exactly the right time to do this maneuver node. Because the maneuver node is still on this orbit, and it appears to be right here. I'm going to actually go plus and minus. Nope. It is completely wrong now. Yay! Okay, aborted launch. I'm going to have to fiddle again. Ah. Yep, we're going to burn it down. This is test launch 1, we'll call this. Let's go ahead and burn our periapsis down to, say, 40? Well, Luford, you did get into whatever planet this is. Sonos? I don't know the names of anything in this. But you did get into that planet's space. And you were able to take the readings from it, which is nice. You could have gotten a second set. Well, that was anticlimactic, I can tell you. I mean, we have made progress. Just not as far as I wish we were. Might as well burn away the fuel we're not using for anything else. Well, they say no plan survives contact with the enemy, and I guess the enemy, in this case, is Kerbal Space Program for telling me what my orbit was and lying to me. So, I still think that this is a good idea. Maybe I just need to give it another 5 or 10 meters per second so that we're guaranteed to clear to guarantee to clear Kerbin on our ascent there. Go ahead and turn this off and see. Yeah, we are stable forward. So let's ditch that so we'll be stable backwards. Probably. I put a heat shield on this guy. Maybe it would have come in handy on the other one. Regarding the craft itself, I think it's pretty good. I don't see any reason to modify it in any way. The only thing possibly I could do is have a really loud splash. Sorry about that. Science alert doesn't tell me I need anything, so let's go ahead and recover. And we got 51 science, and you know what that means. Well, maybe you don't. It means we can unlock general construction, giving us struts, which we don't really need yet. Really what I'm looking forward to is way down here, quite a ways from now, batteries and this thermometer. Until we get to there, we're going to be kind of not exactly doing well as far as building rockets is concerned, but we got a lot of places to go. We got 3 places to go, 4 actually, before we even leave this gas giant. But let's go ahead and buy this general construction just to get it, really, because we don't need any of this stuff. And then we'll keep up what we're doing. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I definitely enjoyed playing it. I'm HMV, and I will, as always, mission controls closed. Talk at you later.